Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Hitman Episode 1 on the GeForce GT 1030 2GB for FPS monitoring. I'll be using CAM. If you want to download the software, there's a link down in the description. And if you want to support me, there are Humble and Amazon affiliate links down in the description as well. So Hitman Episode 1, I'll be doing 1080p, 900p and 720p. To skip those sections of the video, check the description below. So well, first of all, this episode of this game is free right now. So you have the prologue plus episode 1 for free at the moment till January the 5th. If you're from the future, well, I'm just going to talk to you about performance now. So well, on 1080p I overclocked the GT 1030. You can see the current memory clocks down in the description. I added around 240 MHz to the core and 430 MHz to the VRAM, and that allowed me to be over 30 frames per second with the settings I selected on 1080p. Without the overclock, it was dropping below 30 frames per second quite often on places with a lot of NPCs. Then I disabled the overclock and tried 900p and 720p, and while on 900p, just like on 1080p, I wasn't able to get 60 frames per second even at the lowest settings. So I show you an over 30 frames per second configuration. And finally at 720p, I first show you a 30 FPS configuration, which is just prioritizing quality over performance. And then I lowered the settings to the minimum, trying to hit 60 frames per second, but it's impossible to do so. I get drops into the low 40s. It's still way smoother than 1080p and 900p, so I just show you the option there if you prefer performance over quality and resolution, so you can choose. And while I kept textures on low, because the game was stuttering quite a bit on medium textures, the other 2GB of VRAM video cards like the 750 Ti or 1050 2GB were able to use medium textures just fine, but in this GPU I was getting quite a bit of stutter. I suspect that's due to the memory bandwidth available. It has way less memory bandwidth compared to the other cards that I just mentioned, and since this game uses a lot of it, it seems it's just a bottleneck when I'm trying to use better textures. So keep that in mind. But now I'm going to talk to you about the options menu and some of the performance stuff about this level. I know this level is not the most demanding one in the game. We got episode 3 Marrakesh, which that one in some places likes to be very CPU bound due to the amount of people on screen, plus transparencies, a lot going on. That's why the title says Hitman Episode 1. That's because that's the one that is free right now till January the 5th, so keep that in mind. You can get lower frame rates in certain other episodes of the game, especially Marrakesh as I said, but on most maps the biggest performance hit is when you're at the corner of a map and just put the camera pointing into the place that everything is located. For example, in episode 1, when you're entering the building, you got a lot of people on screen, plus the rest of the level is just located that way. So the game seems to be just rendering that part, so it's just a big hit to the frame rate there. But when you go downstairs, for example, you'll see that I get like double the frame rate. That's because that part doesn't have a lot of stuff in it. And well, on texture quality we have low, medium and high. If you have a 2GB video card, I recommend using low, and on smaller levels like this one, the episode 1, you can use medium just fine. Also keep in mind that I'm using DirectX 11, since DirectX 12 uses more VRAM and I get pretty much the same performance, so I didn't think it was worth using. I have a comparison at the end of the video if you want to check it out. And then the most demanding things in the options menu should be pretty much SSAO, shadow maps, shadow resolution and level of detail. Yeah, that's almost all the options, I know. On level of detail, from ultra to high, you get a decent boost in performance, but from high to medium, you get a bigger boost in the frame rate, so I recommend just lowering from high to medium if you can. Then the other very demanding option is shadow maps. We got low, medium, high and ultra. I recommend lowering that one first, shadow maps. And then we got shadow resolution. In some of the gameplays, you'll see that is not that demanding at all, but on others is very demanding. That's because shadow resolution, well, it's the resolution of the shadows, of course, and shadow maps is like the amount of lights that produce shadows. So for example, some spotlights on shadow maps using low, you won't get shadows, but if you use medium, you get shadows just fine. So the performance impact produced by shadow resolution depends on the shadow maps quality option you selected, because there will be more detailed shadows on screen, so keep that in mind. If you want to use better shadow maps option, I recommend lowering shadow resolution to avoid a huge performance impact. And well, SSAO is the ambient occlusion. It's usually a good boost in performance if you turn it off, but again, the biggest performance hit is shadow maps plus shadow resolution. Anyway guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you keep enjoying the video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
That is Viktor Novikov, head of Sanguine and ringleader of EVGA. Quite the resume.
I just can't do this. I just can't. Hey. It's gonna be okay. No, they're all horrible. Treating me like dirt. What do they know?
There's someone we would like you to meet.
On the floor! On the floor! Do it!
It works, I promise. Come on, I'll be right there.
Reveal yourself! All right, stand down. Stay on your toes. He'll be back.
Shit! Still no answer. What's going on up there? Oh my god, they know, they know, okay? They know. Jesus, I never thought I would see a real crime scene.
Hey, please look where you're going.
Killed guys for less. Tango! Tango!
Calling command. All right, listen up. I know this looks bad, but we gotta
Hurry.
Cecile, I'm standing. Cut!
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Real considerate. You mind staying out of my shot? Jeez, can you believe that guy? I hate these snobs.
Whatever, let's just take it from the top.
Right. Okay. Ready? And go.
Cecile, I'm standing outside Palais de Valevska hosting the Sanguine Fall. What the hell is wrong with you? Go away!
Come on. Don't improve.
You got a problem, sir? You move around like somebody kicked your ass.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to Sanguine.
You need to get your head checked, buddy.
Whoops, sorry.
That is Viktor Novikov, head of Sanguine and ringleader of EVGA. Quite the resume.
I just can't do this. I just can't. Hey. It's gonna be okay. No, they're all horrible. Treating me like dirt.
Now, hold on. He's what?
If you'll excuse me, Congressman, urgent matter. Do enjoy your evening. Goddamn artists. What the hell is he up to now?
Look, Daniel, she's nice.
Hey,
We're talking through, okay? You don't go up primal like that.
Dispatch! Hey! Took one!
Central, area is clear. Please advise.
I understand.
Deal with this, just...
Cecile, I'm standing outside. Delay it. Cut!
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Real considerate. You mind staying out of my shot?
Jeez, you believe that guy? I hate these snobs.
Whatever. Let's just take it from the top.
Right. Okay. Ready? And go.
Cecile, I'm standing outside. Delay de Vilevska. What the hell is wrong with you? Go away!
Come on. Don't encourage this asshole.
Welcome, sir. Enjoy the show.
That is Viktor Novikov, head of Sanguine and ringleader of EVGA. Quite the resume.
I just can't do this. I just can't. Hey, it's gonna be okay. No, they're all horrible. Treating me like dirt. What do they know?
There's someone we would like you to meet.
Now, hold on. He's what? If you'll excuse me, Congressman. Someone got fire at will.
You're gonna regret this!
Right there!
He's down!
Jesus.
Hey, I need some help!
Hey, you! Shit, he's right there!
You like that?
Hey, do we have a situation here?
I just found a body. Sir, I think... Crap! Shooting people in the head! Oh, Jesus! Oh, Jesus! Oh, Jesus! I don't... Shit! I can't see him either! Holy fuck! He's by the service entrance!
I'm gonna bring you down!
want.
If you'll excuse me, Congressman. Urgent matter. Do enjoy your meal. Done.
Over there. I need you by the stage now. Ready, girls? You look fabulous.